Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Sheikh Tipu Rahaman working as an Aptitude trainer in Madanpalli Institute of Technology and Science. So, our college, in tie-up with AICTE, has started a scheme called Prerana scheme, where students from SC and ST background opt for preparing for higher education. So, under this scheme, we'll be dealing the important topics that will be very helpful for the students to opt the higher education pattern, like clearing the entrance exam, such as GATE, GRE, and so on. Okay. So today's topic is one of the most important topic for any entrance exam. It might be a higher education exam like GRE or GATE or any placement exam. So it comes under something called reasoning aptitude. Okay, and the title of the topic is blood relations. So let us discuss more about blood relations. So there are certain rules to be followed, and there are different types of questions they ask. So in this class, we are going to explore all the basic concepts of blood relation and their importance with tips and tricks to solve and practice problems. Clear? So let us go for the next slide. So blood relations, tips to solve. This is very important. So let's start our class with the first tip. Relations mentioned in this topic are always legal and simple. Yes. So it's very simple and not complicated. So you have to ensure that the relations you try to relate in the questions have to be very simple and legal, of course. So next point is be clear with the gender of the relation while solving questions. See, if you are unclear with the gender of the person, then you'll end up with wrong answer. For example, if I say my sibling is a doctor, so what does it mean? Is my brother a doctor or sister a doctor? I might have both, or I might have only one. So sibling is a common term that defines that you have one more brother or sister, but doesn't give a specific gender. So they are non-specific genders words like sibling or like cousin. So my cousin is in Dubai. So he or she, we don't know. So genders are very important. But how do you define like a state, a gender of a person using these kind of words? So it's quite simple. You use entire statement. Let's say uh, my cousin is in Dubai. He is an engineer. My sibling is a doctor. She is a hard worker. So when you give that complete picture and idea, the gender gets automatically recognized. So until unless you are not clear with the gender, you have to be very cautious about answering the questions. Clear? Next. Third one is very important point where most of the students make it wrong. Never try to think or convert the question in your mother tongue while solving blood relation. So in our mother tongue, there are many relations which are actually like quite complicated because we have more relatives, vast families, and everything. But in blood relation concept, that too under English topic, that is ours. So we have very precise and very small relations, the like small set of relations. So when you try to convert whatever is a given question into your mother tongue, you'll end up with many different answers. For example, if I say brother, so in our mother tongue, younger brother will have one name, elder brother will have one name, but here brother is brother. So it's not like big or small or something. So brother is brother. That's it. Clear? So those are the important points we have to remember before we start using blood relation. Now, let us go to few more tips. In order to solve these problems, analyze the given statement carefully and systematically. Okay, this is a very important sentence that helps you to crack any written exam question paper with blood relation. For example, see this example. My father's only child means I. So my father's only child is myself, obviously. Next, here, Sweet is husband's father-in-law's only daughter. What does it mean? It's Sweetie herself. So Sweetie is here. Sweetie has a husband. Husband's father-in-law's only daughter is again Sweetie. So you have to be very clear in analyzing the given sentences, then proceed with the solving tips. Clear? Next. So all the relations that we have are through our parents. Okay, and we have two parents with God's grace. One is from mother, the other is called as father. So any relationship that we have presently from the above generation or through our parents. So any relative from father's side is termed as paternal, and any relative from mother's side is termed as maternal. And it's very important to know or define or what you call the mention these terms. The reason is, for example, if I say I've been to my uncle's home. Suppose I have both the uncles. Uncle, who is uncle? Uncle is our parents' brother. So it can be my mother's brother or father's brother. If I told to my friend that I have been to my uncle's home, so the immediate next question would be which uncle? Either from mother's side or father's side. So to be precise, I can say I have been to my maternal uncle home. Maternal uncle's home. So this clearly specify I have been to my mother's brother home. Or I can say I have been to my paternal uncle home. That means father's brother. Now in most of the cases, the default, if they have not mentioned anything, is taken as paternal. Okay. And if they want to mention mother's side, definitely they'll mention maternal. So I have one more example in the upcoming slide that gives more clarity on it. So don't be worried. Clear? So any relations of mother's side is called maternal, whereas any relation of father's side is termed as paternal. Clear? For example, mother's brother, yeah, same example. Or sister. Mother's brother or sister will be maternal uncle or aunt. So maternal uncle or maternal aunt. Similarly, father's brother or sisters will be paternal uncle or aunt. So if I say aunt, it doesn't give precise clarity of which relationship I'm talking about. If I say maternal aunt, obviously it is mother's side. If I say paternal aunt, obviously it is from father's side. Clear? So these are the basic important points you have to remember before you proceed on solving any types of problems on blood relation. Clear? Very good. Now, so seeing this diagram, I can say it's a very happy family. But if you observe closely, we have all the relations that we see in our family: grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, son, sister, brother, cousin, son, daughter, many, uncle, aunt. But if you see it and try to analyze, it all looks very clumsy. Correct? A son. So it looks little clumsy, all like linked to each other, everything. So to ease this visualization, I have grouped every what you call family member into different generation. So these are the generations in most of the families that we have. Clear? So now we are going to discuss one by one each. Okay. So these are blood relation generations in a family table or diagram. Okay. Now let us go for the first thing. Generation one. So the elder or topmost generation in the table is generation one, and all the elders. Okay. Our grandparents come under this generation. Grandparents. So who are our grandparents? Grandfather, grandmother. So again, to be precise, we have grandfather parents from mother's side as well as father's side. So parents from mother's side are termed as maternal and father's side is termed as paternal. So because maternal is already mentioned here, they are not bothered to mention paternal term. It's not required. Because maternal is already mentioned, paternal is not to mention. So I can defaultly take it as its father's father. Getting my point? So grandfather means our parents' father. It can be father's father or mother's father. Maternal grandfather, because they have mentioned, it means mother's father. In this case, only grandfather means father's father. So similarly, grandmother. So grandmother means, obviously in general, grandmother means parents' mother. But here to be precise, maternal grandmother means mother's mother, and only grandmother is nothing but by default paternal, it's father's mother. Clear? So these are the four common people will have elder people in our family. Apart from this, you can see two I think familiar or unfamiliar terms: grand uncle, grand aunt. Now, any male relative who is a sibling of your grandparents is grand uncle. Let's say grandfather's brother, grandmother's brother is grand uncle. Similarly, grandfather's aunt, grandmother's aunt is, sorry, grandfather's sister or grandmother's sister is grand aunt. Okay. So siblings are grand siblings of our grandparents, or male sibling is a grand uncle and female is grand aunt. Clear? So this is about the elder, that is generation one. Next, coming back to second generation, this is our parent generation. So we have the first category is parent, father and mother. Okay. Next, we have something called uncle, aunt. So who is uncle? Generally, uncle means father's or mother's brother. But here, as we have already mentioned, maternal uncle is a mentioned term. So by default, I have to treat this uncle as paternal. So that's the point I was trying to tell you. So maternal uncle means mother's brother, whereas uncle here default is paternal. So it is father's brother. Similarly, maternal aunt means mother's sister. Paternal aunt means father's sister. Okay. So these are the relations that we have. Almost everybody will have these relations by birth. Now, here if you see the third one, there is something called father-in-law and mother-in-law. The common term if you see here is in-law. So when we use the word in-law, so in-law is a term. If you want, you can make a note of it. In-law is a word is used by the relatives who are in relations not by blood but after marriage. So whenever there is a marriage, after marriage, or any marriage is performed and those people becomes your relative through marriage is called in-law. But by birth, if they become, this in-law terms will not come. Getting my point? So any stranger, if they get tie up or they get your relative or they become your relative through a marriage, then that is called in-law. Now, father-in-law. Who is father-in-law? So this is you. You will get married to a particular person. That person's father is father-in-law. Who is mother-in-law? This is you. You will get married to a particular person. That person's mother is mother-in-law. So if you are a female, so you can easily say, who is your father-in-law? Female says, my husband's father. If I ask the female, who is your mother-in-law? She'll say, my husband's mother. If I ask the same question to a male person, if I ask him, who is father-in-law? He'll say, my wife's father. And if I ask the same male person who is mother-in-law, he'll reply, my wife's mother. But there is a common term for this thing. It is called as spouse. So spouse is nothing but husband or wife. Suppose X is saying, my spouse is a teacher. What does it mean? There is no clarity on it. We don't know whether X is male or female. So spouse is a gender independent word. It's not dependent on gender. So if a male says my spouse is a teacher, that means if a female says my spouse is an engineer, that means her husband is an engineer. Clear? So it's very easy, ma. Don't get confused. Very easy to understand. Now, so father-in-law in like a general definition is your spouse father. You might be male or female, doesn't matter. You'll get married to a particular person, the opposite gender. So might be male or female. Their father is your father-in-law. And similarly, spouse mother is mother-in-law. This is second generation. Clear? So if I want to break up this, so you will get married to a particular person. That person's father is equivalent to your father through marriage. So it is father-in-law. Similar thing applies for mother-in-law. Clear? So that is generation 2. Now let us see what we have in generation 3. So in generation 3, uh, it's our generation. So you have your brother, sister. So as we have already discussed in the previous slides, the common term we use for this is siblings. And as I already told, sibling is not a gender specific word. If I say I have two siblings, So what does it means? I can have two sisters or two brothers or one sister or and one brother. Again, we have subcategories: two younger sisters, two elder, one younger, one elder, younger sister, elder brother. So there are different possibilities here. For that, a simple word we use is sibling. Sibling is for singular, siblings is for plural. Brother, sister. Yeah. Next, cousin. So who is cousin? Again, like to specify, cousin is also not a gender specific word. If I say my cousin is an engineer, I already discussed this in the previous slide. So that means there is no gender here. My cousin might be male or female. So my cousin is an engineer and she is a good person, something like that. Okay. Now who is cousin first? Cousin is your uncle or aunt's son or daughter. So cousin means your uncle. It might be paternal or maternal, doesn't matter. So your parents, siblings, children. That means your parents and their parents will be, one of them will be sibling. Uncle's son or daughter is also cousin. Aunt's son or daughter is also cousin. Clear? That is regarding cousin. Now next, husband and wife. So once you get married to a particular person, if you are a female, you will have a husband, and if you are a male, you will have a wife. Again, the common term, gender non-specific term is spouse. So as we have already discussed here, spouse father is father-in-law, spouse mother is mother-in-law. That's it. So here, if you see the last one in generation 3, we have something called brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Now, who is brother-in-law? As I said, in-law is something, a relation that comes after marriage, not by birth. Now, brother-in-law. So we have two relations here in brother-in-law. Your spouse brother. This is one relation. So you will be getting married to a particular person. That person's brother is equivalent to your brother through marriage. So it is brother-in-law. Now, similarly, what is one more relation? Your sister's husband is also termed as brother-in-law. But if you go in your mother tongue language, for your spouse brother, you'll use one term, and for your sister's husband, use some different term. So that's the reason I have clearly mentioned. So don't try to convert in the mother tongue because you'll end up with confusion. So you have very limited relations you can easily catch up with to get the answer. So brother-in-law is your spouse brother, or one more relation is your sister's husband. Now, similar things applies for sister-in-law. So again, we have two relationships here. So sister-in-law means your spouse sister. So your spouse, here I am not mentioning any gender. If you are a male, your husband's sister. If you are a female, your wife's sister. Clear? So spouse sister is your sister-in-law. And next one, what would be the next one? Your brother's wife is also your sister-in-law. Again, I'm not talking about elder brother, younger brother or something. It's common to all. But if we go with our mother tongue relationships, we have different terms. Okay. So my ultimate thing is, please don't try to compare it because you'll end up with wrong answers. Okay. It's a little complicated, but here it's very simple. Okay. Very good. Now, your spouse sister, your brother's wife, both are sister-in-law. That is generation 3. Now, generation 4. So after we get married, you will have children. So a male child of yours is termed as son. A female child is termed as daughter. Obviously, everybody knows. Now, what is this term? Nephew. So nephew is a male gender. So who is nephew? Your sister's or brother's son. So in short, your sibling's son is your nephew. Getting my point? Your sister's son or your brother's son is your nephew. Now, who is niece? So it's quite opposite to the gender of nephew. It's female. Same relationship. Your sisters or brothers, this time daughter, Your sister's or brother's daughter is niece. Clear? Or in short, your siblings daughter is niece. Clear? So nephew is a male term and niece is a female term. Now suppose, let's say you have a niece called X and you are a male person. So for X you will become uncle or aunt. That's it. If you are uncle a male, you are if you are male you'll become uncle, and if you are female you'll be called as aunt. Clear? So that is generation fourth, blood relation. Now this is relation through marriage, son-in-law. So who is son-in-law? Your daughter's husband. So your daughter will get married to a particular person. That person is equivalent to your son through marriage. So son-in-law. Now similarly, who is daughter-in-law? Your son's wife. So your son will get married to a particular person. That person is equivalent to your daughter through marriage because it's in-law. So she is daughter-in-law. So these are the four important generations that we have in our family. Apart from this, there are few like extra generations. If you observe closely, we'll find in our family. Okay, so one more thing, generation 5, sorry. So generation 5 grandson. Who is grandson? Your children son, male child. Granddaughter is female child. So your son's son or daughter's son is grandson, and your son's daughter or daughter's daughter is granddaughter. Getting my point? So your kids male child is grandson, your kids female child is your grandfather. This is generation 5. Clear? So apart from this, as I was saying, some extra generation is great grandparents. What does it mean? In a few of the families, your grandparents parents would be still alive. For them, they will be your great grandparents. For example, grandfather's father is also called as great grandfather. Grandfather's grandfather also comes under this category. We will not go away. Similarly, grandmother's mother or grandfather's mother comes under category of great grandmother. Now, if you have great grandparents, for them you will become great grandchildren. That's it. So any relation above this all comes under great grandchildren, and any relation above this all comes under great grandparents. Sorry, any relation below this is great grandchildren. This is great grandparents. Grandfather's father is also great grandfather. Grandfather's grandfather is also great grandfather. The same thing applies for great grandchildren. So hope I'm clear with the explanation of this blood relation generations. Clear? So if you want, you can pause this video and you can just go through it to get a clear picture. So we have covered almost all the relationships that are asked in the questions under blood relation. Clear? Now this is the one of the basic concept of knowing the relationship. So let us check your knowledge and how much you have learned. Okay. Now these are the questions. So what I would suggest is just pause this video for a minute or two and try to answer these questions. So once you answer this question, then you can resume the video to get whether how much you have understood. If you can get almost everything correct, then you are ready to go for further things. If not, I would suggest please replay the video from the beginning and again go through it to get better understanding and clarity. If you still have doubts, you can comment so that I'll help you out by replying it. Clear? Now, so let me resume this session. So grandfather or grandmother's only son. So grandfather's or grandmother's only son. He is grandfather's or grandmother's only son. Is whom? So here in the default, if I take it as paternal parents, that means father's father or father's mother's only son will be your father. But if I take maternal, that means your mother's parents, mother's father or mother's mother only son, then the answer will be uncle. So you have to be very precise on what question they have asked and how to answer. If at default I consider nothing is mentioned, so it would be paternal, so my answer is father. If I'm not sure whether they have given default or they have given common, so it would be maternal as well as paternal. If I take maternal grandfather or maternal grandmother's only son, the answer is uncle. Because your mother's brother will be that person. And there is one more thing here. What is this? Only son. Now, how many children that, suppose here it is saying your grandfather's only son. Does it mean your grandfather has only one child? No. So only son means your grandfather has only one male child. That's it. There is no info given on female child. That's the one thing you have to make a note. So only son doesn't give a final picture that this couple has only one son or one child. They have, whenever they use only term, so only son means this couple can have zero daughter or more than one daughter. So that is one thing you have to note it down. So if you have one son and one daughter, you can't use the word called only son. Suppose I have two daughters and one son, I can say my only son is an engineer. Are you getting my point? In the similar way, if I don't have any daughters, I have only one son, then also I can use my only son is an engineer. Getting my point? If I say my only sister is a doctor, does it mean we are only two to our parents? No. I'm not giving any clarity about the other part, whether I have a brother or not. Getting my point? So I have only one sister, that is for sure, but I'm not giving any clarity whether I have a brother or not. You have to be very clear and precise while solving these kind of questions. Clear? So that is about only. So don't worry, we have other examples, you'll get a clarity in upcoming slides. So grandfather's grandmother's only son, if it is paternal, it's father, if it's maternal, it is uncle. Similarly, grandfather, grandmother's only daughter-in-law. No, here. Grandfather's or grandmother's only daughter-in-law. Now, if I take it as paternal grandfather, father's only daughter-in-law, or father's mother only daughter-in-law is your mother. But if I take maternal, mother's father's only daughter-in-law will be your aunt or your uncle's wife, whatever it is. Getting my point? So usually we call it as aunt or you can call it as uncle's wife. Both might apply based on the options. Next, father's father or mother's father. So he will be called as father's father or mother's father. General term is grandfather. Father's mother or mother's mother. It is grandmother. Hope you are following this. Next, father's brother or mother's brother. That is the meaning of this sentence. Again, brother. That's the meaning of this sentence. So father's or mother's brother, the general term we use it as uncle. But if you want to be very precise, father side is paternal and mother side is maternal. Yeah. Next, father's sister or mother's sister. Obviously, it is aunt. Next, son's wife. Who is son's wife? Daughter-in-law. Next, daughter's husband. Who is daughter's husband? Daughter's husband is son-in-law. Next, husband or wife's sister. Obviously, it is sister-in-law. Husband of wife's brother. It is brother-in-law. Next, brother's wife. So brother's wife will be obviously sister-in-law. We already discussed these things. Brothers or sister's son. Yes. Who is this person? He is nephew. Brother or sister's daughter will be niece. Uncle or aunt's son or daughter is nothing but about her, none other than cousin. Sister's husband, obviously brother-in-law. Brother's wife, sister-in-law. Grandson or granddaughter's daughter is great granddaughter. Grandson or granddaughter's son is great grandson. Okay, so if you don't understand my handwriting, don't worry. So these are the answers for you. So I have taken by default as paternal here. So that's why I got this answer. Maternal you can take. It all depends on type of question they're asking. So all these things we have already done. Clear? So this is one part to ensure that you are very good at understanding the relation. But what if the questions are clumsy? So what do you mean by clumsy? Don't worry, I'll come up with that. Okay. Now, hope you are clear with this. Let us go further. Now, so clumsy in the sense if the questions are like this, like they are interlinked, big relations. For example, it is not possible to define relation between two persons without knowing the gender. I've already answered this. So consider the following instruction. Now, This is one of the tip for you to understand this kind of things. Now, A is a child of P and Q. So who is the father of A? Yes, is it P or Q? I don't know. A is a son or daughter. Even that is not clear. Only thing clear is P and Q are couple and they have a child called A. That's it. A is a male or female child. We don't know. P, Q, whether they are who is husband, who is wife is also not known. So that is one example that doesn't give any clarity on gender. Second one, C is a cousin of B. So C male not known or female not known. Similar for B. B spouse is M. So who is husband, who is wife? I don't know. Both are married couples. That's what I can say. So B might be male. If B is male, M will be female. Next, D is grandchild of K. D is grandchild of K. So D is grandchild of K. So K might be grandfather, grandmother. I don't know. Obviously, D might be what you call grandson or granddaughter. Also not. So be very clear with these kind of sentences. Okay, that is one more thing. Now, character notation. This is what I was talking. Now, let's say if I ask A's father is B and B's father is C. Full stop. How is C related to A? When asked this kind of question, you can easily say. So A is here, A's father is B, B's father is C. So obviously C will be what? Grandfather of A. Very easy question, right? But in exam they won't ask this kind of question. They'll ask with little tricky question. Let's say if they ask A's father's only daughters, husbands, daughters, mothers, fathers, sons, daughter is Y. So how is A related to Y? So please don't ask me to repeat, even I just got it from my head. So if these kind of questions are asked, what we do is we go with the help of something called character notation. So using character notation, we'll try to picturize or take the question and draw in a pictorial way to get the answers. What we do is we draw the pictures and we call it as family tree diagram. So that will easily help you to understand the given question and get the answer very quickly. Clear? So all these points what I have mentioned here, I'm going to discuss in the next slide. Clear? Okay. Now, any male person in the question or is given is denoted as a square. A female person is denoted as a circle. So let's say a male is, let's say, H and female is W. And double line means these two are married couples, husband and wife. So what does I can say? How H is related to W? H is the husband of W. How is W related to H? W is the wife of H. Are you getting my point? So final conclusion, H and W are couple. Now when I say use single line, it means sibling. In this example, B is brother of S because B is in square. S is sister of B because S is in circle. S is a female. Now if we have this type of thing, this means I am going for next generation. So I can draw C here or here doesn't make any changes. So what does it means? H and W are couple and they have a daughter called C. So C is the daughter of H, C is the daughter of W. Getting my point? W is the mother of C and H is the father of C. So using these notations, you can analyze any type of question. Let us see an example. So what we have learned here, how can we apply here? So without learning, if you apply, you will end up with wrong answers. That's what I can assure. But let's solve this question. So if you want, you can pause this video and you can do it by yourself. And please come back to get the answer. Okay. So after you're done, let us resume. So in a family of 6+ people, A, B, C, D, E, F, there are two married couples. Okay, married means double line. D is a grandmother of A and mother of B. C is wife of B and mother of F. F is granddaughter of E. What is C to A? I've just read the question, I have not written anything. Now, nothing goes inside head if we do like this. So what to do? First, go point wise. There are 6 people, 2 married couples. Okay. So D is grandmother of A. So what is gender of D? It's female and she is grandmother of A. So there is one more person in this C. And mother of B. Who is mother of B? D. So I can say B might be father or mother of A. That's it. No issues. Next, C is wife of B. Good. When C is wife of B, obviously B will be male. So this means D is the mother of B, and A's parents are B and C. Clear? Next, C is wife of B and mother of F. Who is mother of F? C. Next, F is granddaughter of E. So F is granddaughter, that means F is female. And granddaughter, if you see this, they have told there are two married couple. One is this, obviously there has to be one more married couple, and that person is E. So ED are grandparents married to each other, BC are parents married to each other, A and F are sibling. Now if you clearly see from any of the given point, I couldn't get the gender of A. So don't presume it as male or female. You'll end up with wrong answer. Clear? Now, question is what is C to A? How is C related to A? Very important. They are not asking what is A to C. What is C to A? So what is C of A? C is the mother of A. If they ask how A is related to C, A might be son or daughter, or cannot be determined. That would be the answer. If the option is son or daughter, you can go with that option, or if your option is cannot be determined, that would be preferred. So be very clear from what gender to, from what relation to what they are asking. Clear with it? Very good. Super. Now, so this is what we have solved. So ED are couple, CB are couple, AF or A's gender is not given. So answer is mother. Clear? Now, what are the types of questions they ask in blood relation? Anywhere you go for any exam, for higher studies or for placements, for government exams in India, they ask only these three types of questions. If you solve practice, that's done. You can easily clear questions in any competitive exam under blood relation. So the first type is deciphering jumbled up description. Second is relation puzzle. Third is coded puzzle. So we'll discuss all these three types. So don't get confused with all high level numbers, names. So it's just a good thing just to have our names in the mind. If you don't remember, doesn't matter because names are not important. What matters is how you solve the question. So first, deciphering. Deciphering means ciphering is nothing but coding. Deciphering is decoding. Jumbled up, that means mixed description. That's it, simple. Now, first one, deciphering jumbled up description. In this type of question, a round about description is given in the form of a small relationship, and a direct relationship between persons concerned is to be deciphered. Now, if you observe this, for example, if I want to introduce myself, oh, sorry. If I want to introduce me, if I want to introduce my brother to some X person, so let's say I have a brother called X, and if I want to introduce my brother to my friend will ask who is X. Usually, what we do as a normal human, I'll say X is my brother. But in blood relation, this is not the case. They'll ask, uh, this person is my father's wife's second son. Getting my point? So that is called roundabout description. But it won't be that simple. Again, I can go with here is my father's only daughter-in-law second son. Again, I'll end up with X. So be very clear when these kind of questions are asked. So this is an example. If you want, you can pause the video and try to solve this question. Okay, if you're done solving, no issues. If you're not done, you can resume this video. Fine. Pointing to a lady, a man said, the son of her only brother is the brother of my wife. So whenever this kind of question comes, what you have to do is don't get confused. First point. Second is you have to break the sentence. How to break the sentence? Whenever you see is or are, you have to break the sentence. That means now I have divided the given sentence into two parts. The son of her only brother, the brother of my wife. Now after breaking, what you have to do is you have to start from this sentence from the last and this sentence from the first. So this is a common point. Okay. Pointing to a lady, a man said. What he said? My wife. Whose wife? There is a man. Okay. And the man, because male, has a wife. Let's say W. Man, wife, my wife, brother. So my wife, brother is, let's say B. Is, that means this person is somehow related to lady. My wife's brother is, now don't go from the last, come from the first. The son of her. Who is her here? Lady. So the son of her only brother. So there is a lady. Ladies, lady has only one brother, let's say X, and that brother's son is B. I'll repeat again. The son of her only brother. Lady's only brother's son is, who is this person? My wife's brother. So this is a common point here. Now the question is, how is a lady related to the man? So man is the husband of W. So M and W, what is the relationship? It's brother-in-law. So M and X, what is the relation? X is the father of W. Obviously, X will be father-in-law of M. L and X, what is the relationship? L is the sister of X. X will have some wife. I don't know, whoever it is. The answer is not mother-in-law. It is sister of father-in-law. Suppose M and L both go to a party, and somebody P will ask M, who is she? So how will M introduce? M will say, L is my father-in-law's sister. How will L introduce M? If P asks L, who are you? Who is M? So L will say, this man is my brother's son-in-law. Getting my point? This is how they introduce the people. Hope you are clear with this. If not, you please comment. I can explain it again. Clear? So this is the explanation that I was talking. So there is a man's wife's brother. My wife, that is man's wife's brother is means this person, brother of her is only brother's son, the son of her only brother. So lady's only brother's son is man's wife's brother. So how is man related? You just type the relation, you'll get it. Wife's brother is brother-in-law, son's lady's brother is brother-in-law of the man. So lady's brother is man's father-in-law. That is, the lady is the sister of man's father-in-law. That's it, simple. Clear? Very good, man. This is first type. Now, so coming to second type of question, one of the easiest thing is just with the help of notations we can go ahead. The family tree diagram. So that is relation person. We already did in the previous examples. No issues. In this type, mutual blood relation or other information is more than two person are mentioned. Information about any two is mentioned. And one more point that I have not mentioned here is gender. If you are not clear with gender, then you'll end up with wrong answers. If they are not given, keep it blank. Okay. So Q's mother. So there is person called Q. Q's mother is female, is sister of P. Okay. Uh, Let me erase this. Sorry. Okay. So I'll start from here. So Q's mother is sister of P. So Q's mother is sister of P. Q's mother, I don't know who is that person. That person is sister of P and daughter of M. Who is daughter of M? Q's mother. So till here, this is the diagram. S is daughter of P. So S gender is given. S is daughter of P and sister of T. That's it. So gender of only S is given. One female gender is given, name is not given. M, P, Q, T gender is not even defined. So don't get excited and end up with wrong answers. Yeah. And there is no marriage relationship. So I can't draw any double line. Now, how is M related to T? If you see M and T, they are in different generation. The two, there is a three generation. So they're asking M to T, not T to M. So M will be what? Grandparent of T. So if you go with option, it might be grandfather or grandmother. That's it, simple. Clear with this? Okay, fine. Now, so the last, okay. So this is the solution for it that I have explained in the previous slide. So if you see this, Q's mother is unknown. So this person, let's say X, is sister of P and daughter of M. X. And S is the daughter of P and sister of T. How is M related to T? M will be the grandparent of T. So this parents next generation. So M will be either grandfather or grandmother. Read this to get more clarity. Simple. Clear with this? Okay, fine. Now, so the last one, that is coded puzzle. So coded puzzle is something which is frequently asked in many exams, might be in competitive as well as some higher education entrance exams. So if you see here, here the relationship are represented by certain codes or symbols such as plus, minus, star, etc. They can even use special symbols, doesn't matter. Then relationship between certain person given in the form of these codes are to be analyzed. So example, P plus Q means P is brother of Q, P minus Q means P is mother of Q, P star Q means P is sister of Q. Now my thing is, whenever you are reading the question, try to avoid this reading. Just directly jump into here. Because after this only you'll get a clarity. I'll tell you how. So which of the following means M is the maternal uncle of R? First, this is our requirement. M is the maternal uncle of R. So M should be what gender? Maternal uncle. That means M should be male. Maternal uncle means M should have a sister and that sister's son or daughter should be R. This is my requirement. So any option that satisfies this requirement is my answer. Getting the point? Any option that satisfies this requirement is my answer. Okay. So if you see this, R's mother, brother, maternal uncle. Now, first option, M plus K. Now you come and read here. Plus means brother. M is a brother of K. Okay. Then K plus R. K is a brother of R. Here I have two generations. Here only one generation. So this is not my answer because you'll get like this. So R gender is not known. So be very specific. So this is not my requirement. Coming to B, M minus R. So M minus means mother of R. So here my requirement M should be male, but here in the option M is female. So I need not to go further. You can simply cross out this answer option. Okay. So coming to third one, M plus K. M is a plus means brother of K. Next, K minus R. Minus means K is the mother of R. Now if you see this option and this option, both are similar. So this is my answer. But let us see what D tells. Okay. So M plus K. M is a brother of K. K star R. Star means K sister of R. So obviously this is not the answer. None of this also won't be the answers. C is my what you call the answer that I'm looking for because both are similar. So when these kind of things comes, entire question will be dependent on options. Okay, same question. So options are very important. If you are not clear with the option, you'll end up with wrong answers. So always depend on options for these kind of questions. So this is my requirement and this is what option wise I have done. So C I have got it, so I have stopped doing it. That's it. So M is a maternal uncle of R means M is a brother of mother. Say K of R, M plus K minus R. Clear? So this is all for this day. So if we want to summarize, okay, if you want to have a summary, so we started our discussion from a few tips in the blood relation. So then we moved on the what are the relations actually we have in our family, and we have discussed a lot of generations here. In the generations, we have discussed the relationship and what is the meaning of it, how they are related to you, and there are two types of relations in like through parents. So from paternal, it's father's side, maternal, it is mother's side. And then we have another two categories. It's by birth, that is blood relation, and through marriage, it is in-laws, what we call. So those are the different relations, and those relations fit into these generations. And based on this, they'll ask different questions. So once this is done, then we have discussed and analyzed what are the different, how much you have learned. Then we have gone for a few tips. Then we have discussed character notations and how to draw family tree diagram. And then we have tried using the learnings to solve a question, and we exceptionally got the answer very well. And after this, we have discussed different, that is three types of questions they'll ask with one example. Now after this, if you attend any drive, it won't be sufficient to clear the exam. So you have to immediately practice minimum like let's say 50 to 100 question on each category, then you can solve any question. So your preparation should be based on what type of exam you're attempting. For example, if you go for government jobs, you'll have most 30 seconds per question. But in other words, if placements or like higher studies, you'll have almost like 60 seconds per question. So your preparation should be based on what type of exam you are applying for. Okay. So that's it for the day. So this is a concept of blood relation. So relation puzzles, deciphering up with the example. The last category is coded puzzle. Okay. So thanks so much. If you have any doubts, you can always feel free to comment. Okay. Thank you.